Well, yeah, I should have said that, shouldn't I?
But the leader of our Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn.
I know I'm in Socialist Bristol because a third glass of water has appeared. We share it out. Friends, thank you very, very much for that lovely welcome and for being here today. And it's an absolute pleasure. But it's a pleasure to be here, but it's very sad what happened in London over the past couple of days. I was in Parliament on Wednesday when this terrible incident happened, and suddenly see people running, heard the shots going off, and then the consequences of that began to unfold later on. And it was obviously traumatic, it was very sad, it was very frightening for a lot of people, and Parliament was locked down for several hours as a result of that. I spoke to the Speaker of the House that evening, and he said to me, "What do you think we should do now?" And I said, "We'll meet tomorrow morning as normal, because above all, democracy must go on." And the message that we put out is quite simply this. Keith Palmer, the police officer who died, was a wonderful, decent man, police officer all of us who go in and out of Parliament every day, saw every day. Decent, friendly, lovely guy doing his job. He was killed. Others have died as a result of it. And if you look at the toll of those that have died and those that have been injured on Westminster Bridge and outside Parliament, yes, of course, they're people from London, but they're people from all over the world. Totally vulnerable. They were just walking across the bridge and got seriously injured or lost their lives as a result of this incident. The message has to be, of course, we have to look after ourselves and make sure that there's as much security as necessary in place at every opportunity for everybody. And that as communities, we come together. We don't blame people because of their nationality, their ethnicity, their faith, their religion, or anything else. The whole principle is you bring people together. Communities together are strong. And that is the message that we were very clear to put out yesterday when we addressed the House of Commons, and obviously gave that wider message to everybody else. And thank you for your reception to what I just said, because clearly that indicates how much you agree with that sentiment. That's the sentiment for all of us today. Reach out to everybody else. That's how it works. I also want to say a big thank you to Marvin for many things, because his election victory last year as a mayor of Bristol was such an amazing occasion. And that afternoon on the green, we came here to celebrate Marvin's win. It was just one of those magic days of my life. Marvin, thank you for giving us all a wonderful day. As Marvin says, his whole life and story is a story of the whole world. It is a story of the whole world coming together. It is a story of the whole world coming together in Bristol, embodied in Marvin. Thank you, Marvin, for what you do as Mayor and the way that you're delivering your responsibilities and trying to improve the lives of the people of Bristol in housing and so many other things. And shame on a government that underfunds this city when you desperately need so vital and so necessary. And so let's hope it's not too long to wait for a Labour government to properly fund Bristol and everything else. And many congratulations, Leslie, on being selected as the candidate for the West of England. I'm really pleased. You phoned me up that night to say, I've been selected, what do I do now? And I said, find the first door and knock on it and ask for their support. And I know that you're doing that because your story is also one of working for others, of representing others, your skill in engineering, your skill as a negotiator in the trade unions, your commitment to the National Health Service, your commitment to your community, and that is what shines through in your campaign and your election pledges and these wonderful postcard-like pictures all across the bottom. I realise I know about half the people in these pictures there, which is wonderful, because I met them when I was here campaigning before. The election of Metro Mayors is an important one for us. We've got Metro Mayor elections in Manchester, in Liverpool City Region, in Teesside, in Birmingham, and here, and I'll be campaigning with all of them. Indeed, this is the third of the Metro Mayor campaigns that I've been involved with so far. I'm going to Teesside in the very near future. They're a new concept. They have differing levels of powers and responsibility, but two things come from them. One is we're competing for all of those places, and we're putting forward a coherent message of what a Labour Metro Mayor would do. It's about coordination of local services, but it's also about promotion of a local region and community. So it is, crucially, about economic development and investment. This country is leaving the European Union. Therefore, there are massive challenges ahead on manufacturing industry, on services, on relationships with Europe, and many other issues that are coming up. I am very determined that we shall maintain a tariff-free market access to Europe, because if we don't get that, and the government doesn't put that as absolute #1 top priority, then industry is clearly at risk everywhere, all over the UK. It's that serious and that important. And secondly, that European Union nationals that have come and made their homes in this country, have families in this country, and have made an enormous contribution to our NHS, to our education service, to industries of all sorts. All of them should be given the right to remain here permanently. This shouldn't be a subject of negotiation as a quid pro quo about what happens to British nationals living across any part of Europe. I think it should be absolutely saying, you're welcome here, stay here, we love you, we value you, we want you to remain here and continue contributing to our society. I have organised a meeting on the 23rd of February. I invited the leaders of socialist parties from all 27 member states of the European Union to come to London. They all came. We had a very interesting discussion about how we're going to process these negotiations and what role they can play to help us in their own national parliaments. And I asked them, all of them, if they would ensure, as the appropriate demands made in their own national parliaments, that all British nationals who've made their homes in France, in Spain, in Italy, Bulgaria, wherever it happens to be, also have that right to remain. So we get past the idea that somehow or other these negotiations are going to have a sort of shuttlecock about the future lives of a very large number of people. The stress levels on European Union nationals living in this country is very high. Take the stress out of it by sorting out the problem. It's in the government's hands to do it. We've already made our position very clear on it, and we will continue to do so. And I know the people of Bristol will want all those wonderful people from all over Europe that made their homes here, made such a contribution to this city, to stay here and continue making that contribution. So the job of the Metro Mayor is to speak up for the city. It also to ensure that we do get the investment and the manufacturing base continues to be strong in Bristol, because it's been the centre of so much high-skilled, high-tech manufacturing for so long. That has to continue and develop. It's best served by having a very good infrastructure. The rail infrastructure, the road infrastructure, the public transport infrastructure are all very important. So delays in electrification of railways are very serious. Delays or the almost now, well, not going ahead, electrification of the main line all the way down to Penzance really has to be brought forward, because if the whole economy of the Southwest is to continue to grow, it's got to have good quality transport links, both rail, road, and of course broadband technology as well has to be available all over the Southwest. Having a Labour Mayor for the West of England will be a very good sign of our strength, our determination, and our seriousness about economic development.